still not understanding. Like you're saying, I can't see my kids at all. That's what you're saying.
The state understands that, well, first off, for parentage, the oldest, Evie, and I apologize for mispronouncing the children's names. Eviana, there's an acknowledgement of paternity attached, I believe, to the petition for her. And then for the other child, Zriana, um, both parties are not asking for DNA. Miss Haynes is asking to be made sole managing conservator. But Mr. Johnson wants joint managing conservatorship, but both agree on Miss Haynes being the primary. So he understands that, well, since we're not dealing with visitation, I don't think, Your Honor, on this, I guess we can just skip that. And also for the the geographic restrictions, Miss Haynes does want non-disclosure, and Mr. Johnson agrees. So he understands that both parties uh, agree to cash medical and child support starting September 1st, 2024. Since this is a temporary order, we're not doing retro, although the parties do agree to no retro as well. Uh, Mr. Johnson is interested in to join NCP Choices, and the state has already sent an order out to him to sign. He signed it. So whenever we submit this order, I can have an order for that included, or submitted at the same time, I guess. And I think that's it, Your Honor.
All right, again, let's go ahead and I'll let you call your witnesses. I want to go ahead and make sure mom's first because, again, I want to hear what she allegedly is saying this family violence is, whether or not there have ever been any arrests, whether or not there have been any protective orders, any convictions, anything along those lines, so the court can get a feel for what we're dealing with as far as me giving the father his rights after before it's his time to testify. So you may proceed and call your first witnesses at this time, Mr. Welch. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. State, wait, have the parties been put under oath?
No, I'm sorry, they have not. I need both of them to turn on the videos and raise their right hands, please. Your testimony gonna give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you. And sir, your other hand, sir.
False, and I apologize for mispronouncing this, ma'am. Tajanay Haynes? What is your full name?
It's Tajanay Haynes. Well, Tajanay Dene Haynes.
Could you hear my opening statement?
Yes.
Was it accurate?
Yes.
What is the name of the children you have with Mr. Johnson?
Eviana Johnson and Zriana Johnson.
How old are they?
Eviana Johnson is 2. She's turning 3 in September. And Zriana is 1. She just turned 1 in July.
Now, how many times have you been physically assaulted by Mr. Johnson?
I wasn't counting.
When was the last time he's done that?
Before I left in October.
And when did this start?
Towards the end of our relationship. I don't recall like the day or anything. But it was towards the end of our relationship of 2023.
I think we may have the last time physical abuse occurred was at the end of 2023.
Yes.
And so when was the first time that he had done this?
I
don't need an exact like number or exact month, ma'am, but
I don't recall. Like I said, it started happening at the end of our relationship because it was toxic.
I understand. Were the police involved in any of these times?
No, sir. For the domestic violence, no, sir.
How many times has Mr. Johnson stalked you in the past?
The end of the year of 2023 when I left him, and I recall, yeah, at the end of 2023 when I left him.
So it had about the same time frame as the physical assaults.
No.
So when did it begin then?
The stalking?
Mm-hmm.
When I left him, in 2023, like October.
And so the last time that happened was also at the end of 2023 or later?
Later.
When as far as best as you can remember, when was the last time?
Either the beginning or in December.
Were the police involved in those stalking incidents?
Yes, sir.
Did you fill out any police reports?
Well, I do have police reports on file. I talked every time a police came over here, I had to sign something, so it's definitely on file. So,
Are you aware if Mr. Johnson has been convicted of any crimes because of this, or is currently being charged with crime for any of these stalking incidents?
no.
Your Honor, do you want me to go into the harassment and threats, or is that?
I really need to know about the assaults and what she alleges at least happened at the last event. Thank you.
So on the last, oh, yes, Your Honor. The last time Mr. Johnson physically assaulted you, explain what happened.
So we was in the room together, and he got mad because I didn't want him touching me. So he hit me, and then we was fighting from there. And it got to the point where I was on the floor and I was in the corner. I was calling for help, and nobody would help me.
Ma'am, what city did that take place in?
Killeen, Texas.
All right, thank you. That's sufficient for now, Mr. Welch. You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. So what kind of custody arrangement do you want, ma'am? Sole managing conservatorship or dual managing conservatorship?
Sole.
Why?
Because I just want to be like the primary custody. I want to have like rights of my babies. Like if like I give them to him, he got to bring them back, and if he don't, he gets in trouble. That's all I want. That's all I've been saying. And
okay, here's the deal, ma'am. Here's the deal, ma'am. You don't have to have sole to have that. The joint does the same thing because one of you get the right to decide where the kids live, and the other one has to abide by the visitation order. So, but until I get a lawyer to investigate your allegations of assault, and as far as stalking, then I'm probably going to limit visitation until I want the state to go ahead and finish up asking you questions. And I do need to see when's the last time the father has seen the children and under what circumstance. But I'll let him get to that. Thank you.
Okay.
When is the last time Mr. Johnson has visited the children?
Recent. It was recent. We had met up at a park, and it was just one of my children's.
How long did that visit last?
It didn't last that long. I'll say like 15, 20 minutes.
Did he physically threaten you, or did he threaten you with physical violence or physically assault you during that time?
No, sir.
And do you do either of those with against the child?
No, sir.
How often does he visit the children?
Since we've been broken up, he have not seen the children in a minute. He did see them on the 4th of July when he brung my baby her birthday cake and her gifts. It was like a little quick little glimpse. He got to say hi and then he went on about his day.
And when did you two break up?
In October. So it's been 10 months.
So October 2023 then.
Yes.
And when you mean by July 4th, you mean July 4th, 2024.
Yes, sir.
And do you agree with you being the prime with determining where the child lives?
Yes.
Now, so you wanted a step-up period, including supervised visits, and then a standard possession order?
Yes.
Don't go into it, Mr.
Oh.
Welch. They get a lawyer. I'm not going to do anything until the attorney finishes their investigation.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor. What medical coverage do you have for the children?
Medicaid right care.
Do you agree to Mr. Johnson paying $57 monthly for cash medical starting September 1st, 2024?
That's fine.
Do you know who Mr. Johnson or what Mr. Johnson employed?
Well, I thought he was working for a construction company, but the lady just told me that he don't have a job.
Do you agree to Mr. Johnson paying current child support of $275 monthly based on minimum wage starting September 1st, 2024?
Yes, that's fine.
Would you be comfortable with non-disclosure of most of your personal information?
Yes.
And Your Honor, I didn't mention this. Apologies, Your Honor, but Miss Haynes did want app close. I'm not sure if Mr. Johnson would agree to that.
All right. Well, we'll get that in testimony from him. Not a problem.
Would you be okay with Miss Haynes? Would you be okay with the court ordering you and Mr. Johnson to use app close?
Well, what is that?
It is a program in which you two
Oh, where
can.
you text and calls and everything. He has my number, so he calls and texts me with my number.
All right, ma'am. When I'm dealing with family violence circumstances, I want something that the court can get a copy of without having to go through that mess that most people have as far as their texting apps on their phone. AppClose is designed to do that, do FaceTime and everything else, and it's designed so the information contained therein can be easily retrieved and used as evidence in a court of law. So that's why I use it. I'm going to order it. So, but
Okay, that's fine.
You'll need to go ahead and download it and set it up, and I'll have that line up and have you give the children's lawyer the login information to allow him to use AppClose on his end. But yeah, until I get a final order, we're going to use AppClose.
Okay, that's fine.
Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Passive witness.
All right, ma'am, I'll be back in just a moment. I'd like the state call the next witness, please.
Thank you. State calls DeMonte Johnson. What is your full name?
DeMonte Johnson.
You're not asking the court today for a DNA test for Zriana?
No, sir.
Could you hear my opening statement?
Yes, sir.
Was it accurate as to what you all disagree and agree to?
Yes, sir.
Were you ever convicted of any crimes involving family violence?
No, sir.
Do you have any pending charges regarding family violence?
No, sir.
What custody arrangement do you want, sir? Sole management conservatorship or joint management conservatorship?
What's the difference between the two? Hello?
Do you want me to explain that, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Difference between them, sir, is that there's not that many differences. They're called different names, but a lot of them have the same rights and responsibilities. the court can impose restrictions on both of those. And both of them, one parent chooses where the children live, and in the other parent pays support. But the main thing, sir, is that to get to sole management conservatorship, that sole management conservatorship is not the default. It requires more. Usually something related to family violence.
That's cool.
So, sir, do you want sole managing or joint managing?
You can do the first one.
All right. And so you agree with Ms. Haynes being having a sole management conservator with the right to establish where the children live then?
Yeah, that's fine.
What county do you live in, sir?
Bell County.
How are you employed?
I'm not.
Do you are you okay with the court ordering non-disclosure of most of Ms. Haynes' personal information?
Yes, sir.
What was your last job?
Higher class direct.
And when was that?
Could you repeat that, sir?
Oh, when was that? Oh, you're talking to me, Your Honor?
No, I was talking to him. I couldn't hear what he said as far as where it was. Thank you.
Higher class direct in Round Rock.
Oh,
Texas.
Quest Direct. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And when was that?
It's like a couple of months before I got released, like a month or two ago.
Were you in prison recently?
No, sir. Bell County.
But what I'm saying is, were you in jail, sir, recently?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you agree to pay cash medical support of $57 starting September 1st, 2024?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree to pay current child support of $275 starting September 1st, 2024, based on minimum wage?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to join NCB Choices, sir?
Is that the job program?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
I think that's it, Your Honor.
All right, sir. What were you in Bell County for?
I had like probation violations, unlawful carrying a weapon, and just like possessing marijuana misdemeanors.
All right, and what's the status of that case right now, sir?
Time served.
Okay, and they're not going to do anything else?
No, sir. I'm finished with everything.
All right, thank you. All right, any other questions of the witness at this time, Mr. Welch?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Walker, do we have Ms. Lambert coming in anytime in late September or mid-September on the docket?
1 second. Okay, we have her September 24th, but she has 4 cases on that docket
Whoa.
already. Yeah.
Anything else?
We have her on October 17th. She has 2 and 2 on October 31st.
Okay, that's 2 4 out of these in September. All right, how about Mr. Brimhall?
Okay, Mr. Brimhall. Mr. Brimhall, we have him on 1029. He's on 3. He has 3 cases on 1029.
Okay, that's still kind of far out. Tell you what, we're gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to do it and see if she can show up. But since I'm gonna give her about 5 to 6 weeks notice, I don't think that should be a problem. So, you say she's got all those cases on the 24th of September?
On the 24th, yes, Your Honor. She has, what I said, 3 or 4.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and look at doing this on the 26th of September. And if she has a problem, she'll let us know. But for right now, I want to go ahead and do this on the 26th because until I get a home visit and her to finish her investigation, I'm not looking at setting up access until we get that part ironed out. Looks like Dad hadn't had a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint Ms. Chanel Lambert as the ad litem, and I'm going to look at a reset date as September 26th on this one then, Ms. Walker. But I'll go ahead. That's just a clerical thing. So at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and let the state tell the court, do they have any other questions of either witness at this time, and make a closing statement and give them the opportunity to make a closing statement to see what they want me to try to do as far as the temporary order is concerned, and get it coming back here in September after the ad litem has at least had the opportunity to do a preliminary investigation.
Thank you, Your Honor. It looks like, Your Honor, the state understands that both parties are in agreement with how custody would go, sole management conservatorship, with Ms. Haynes having primary, Mr. Johnson being a possessory, visitation and all that being reserved, visitation and GO reserved for final hearing. Parties agree on non-disclosure for Ms. Haynes. Parties agree on $57 monthly for medical support starting September 1st, 2024 that Mr. Johnson would pay. And then $275 monthly for child support starting September 1st, 2024 that Mr. Johnson would pay. Retro would also, like I said, Your Honor, she wasn't asking for it before, but since, I think it's best to reserve it. And, she doesn't want it then, we could just say it then as well. And then Mr. Johnson does want to join the in-suite choices, and state has already gotten an order signed. I've signed, he's signed. Like I said, when I submit the temp order for this one, I can submit that along with it. And the state has no problems resetting this out.
All right, folks. Anything else you think I need to know at this time? So anything else you think I need to know at this time, Mr. John? I'll go with Ms. Haynes first. Ms. Haynes, anything else? I'm getting ready to give the child a lawyer. I'm doing a reset to September. The lawyer's going to, it's what's called an attorney ad litem. She's representing the child. Doesn't represent mom, doesn't represent dad, represents the children in this case, and is going to make recommendations in their best interest. I'm going to need your permission to have the state give Ms. Lambert and Ms. Lambert only your email address and your phone number so she can contact you. I'm looking at coming back on the 26th of September, and at that time she can make recommendations as far as the visitation schedule going forward. I'm looking at naming you sole MC, naming him possessory conservator, but I'm going to go ahead and hold up on the rights until she completes her investigation, or at least does her preliminary evaluation. And based on her recommendations, I'll fill in all the extra rights for Mr. Johnson when we have that hearing in September. I'm going to go ahead and order the agreed to child support. I'm going to go ahead and order. I'll sign off on the NCP choices order, and I'm going to go ahead and order the app close. And ma'am, you can download that. Go ahead and set it up. And I'll make sure that in the email that we send Ms. Lambert, my sister's listening, that she go ahead and you give her the login information and necessary information to give dad so he can open his own account and contact you through that going forward. Don't do anything on that you don't want coming out in court. And then what I want to do is go ahead and eventually set up some FaceTime visits with the older child. 1-year-old, it's not gonna work. And Atlanta will make recommendations for physical visitation once she figures out the circumstances of everybody and the logistics of going forward on those circumstances. So at this time, ma'am, do you have any questions?
So that means we have to wait for visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The children's lawyer is going to make recommendations on what she thinks the visitation should be.
Okay. That's fine.
All right. Any other questions? Anything else you think I need to know, ma'am?
No.
All right, Mr. Johnson, question, sir.
Yeah, so you saying I can't see my kids without this court order?
I'm saying, sir, yes, sir. That's pretty much it. Until we come back next month,
So
I'm not ordering any court. Wait a second. I'm not ordering any court order visitation until the ad litem has completed their investigation and make recommendations on how y'all should set this up, folks. So what's your question, sir?
My question is, so you're saying I can't see them because we haven't have any whatever. So
Can
I
you
can't
rephrase
see.
that question, sir? I'm not sure what you mean.
I can't see them at all until you set up the visitation. Is basically what you're saying.
Basically, yes, sir.
So where did that come in play if I just saw them like last week?
Because last week I hadn't heard this case, sir. The mother is alleging that you have committed acts of family violence against her. Those that you have never been convicted, but I've appointed the children a lawyer to make to investigate those circumstances and along with the stalking allegation. Because here's the deal, sir. Under Texas law, I've got to base what rights I give you on whether or not those allegations turn out to be more likely true than not true. Okay. I know you're not a lawyer, but this is what I got to look at. And she's made the allegations, and before I can actually make an order that's in conformity with the Texas Family Code, I've got to know have that investigation completed and have you both sit down and have the ad litem ask you both questions about what's going on and get you both back under oath and have her go ahead and ask any and all questions she thinks is necessary to assure that her clients are going to be safe in both your care. So what's your next question, sir?
Still not understanding. Like you're saying, I can't see my kids at all. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying I'm not ordering any court order visitation or access to the children until we come back in September, sir.
Exactly. So if she wants me to allow her to see the kids, can I? Is all I'm asking.
I'm not at this time, sir. I'm not going to make that any part of the court order. I know you're not a lawyer. This is
No, sir.
I can order court order visitation, sir. I'm not.
No, I understand what you're saying.
I'm sorry, sir.
I'm just saying, if she says I can see the kids, would that be cool though? Like that's what I'm saying.
Right now, sir, I can normally it's a normal part of the court order that you two can agree upon anything. But with an allegation of family violence, sir, I cannot put that in your court order.
Okay, that's cool. But I'm saying, so if she says I can see the kids this weekend, it won't like violate anything.
Sir, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna order her to do it. And I'm not gonna give you permit. I'm not gonna give her. No, sir. I'm saying no, sir. No, that's not it. I'm not gonna do the runaround. I am not ordering any type of visitation until further order of the court in September, sir. That's it. Period. So, until the ad litem gives it the okay that she thinks it's in her client's best interest for face-to-face visits, then I'm not going to order it. If the once the ad litem's aboard, if she okays FaceTime visits through the app close app, then that's fine. I'll let y'all do that. But until we come back into court, until I get her recommendations, I'm not going to circumvent anything that she's allowed to do, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to order nothing. It's all on her decision, is what I'm saying, sir.
No, it's actually the children's lawyer's decision at this point, sir.
I don't understand how when they're my children. That's what I'm not understanding, sir.
Well, again, sir, I don't have time to take you to law school here.
It's good. I'll see you on the 26th. I'm not tripping. I will see you on the 26th, sir.
All right. Anyway, what's going to happen, sir? The ad litem is going to contact you. You tell her that you want to at least start FaceTime visits or maybe even some visitation in the interim. She and mom and you can set that up. But for right now, I'm putting it in her hands to make sure that nothing goes south before we have a final hearing on this matter because of the allegations. If the allegations turn out to be not supported, then sir, I'll give you all the rights under the law that you're entitled to. No ifs, ands, or buts. But until I get to that point, I just can't.
I'm not saying what you can do. I'm saying what she can do. It's not your decision for any of this, sir.
No, you're wrong, sir. It is. It is.
I don't see how it is, though. I don't.
Okay, well, it is. I'm letting you know it is.
Okay? Like I said, I see you on the. There's no reason to argue with you. I'll just see you on the 26th, sir.
All right. Thank you, then, Mr. Johnson. All right. Anything else, Mr. Welch?
I just want to make sure clarify, Your Honor. So you agree? You're ordering the medical support that I mentioned.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And
the child support, and we'll reserve. If mom doesn't want any retro when we come back, then that's fine. Obviously there's no state money involved, so I don't have to worry. It's left up to her.
And so you're also reserving the, but I mean, we've already discussed visitation and access, but you're reserving the geographic restriction as well.
Yes.
And just to confirm, you are saying that Mr. Johnson is the father of both children, of
I'm
both
sorry.
children.
Yeah. As part of the court order, that he's waiving AOP for one child. He's waiving DNA test on the other. So the court will find that he is the biological father of both children.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, folks. Again, Mr. Johnson, the state's also going to need your permission to give the children's lawyer your phone number and your email address. Does the state have your permission to do that, sir?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. And I'm not sure if I got it on the record, ma'am. Is it all right for the state to give Ms. Lambert your information also?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, folks. Again, I'm not trying to be an obstructionist there, but again, I'm going to dot my I's and cross my T's on this, and that way when we come back for a final hearing, hopefully we'll be able to get everything set up like it's supposed to under the family code, and we can give you all the rights y'all need and set everything up as it's supposed to be. But anyway, at this point, I'll go ahead. I'll see everybody back in September, and if the lawyer has a problem with that time or date, she will let you know whether or not it's going to be scheduled earlier or scheduled later. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank
Thank
you
you,
both
Your
very
Honor.
much. And we're off the record, and I will see you in September. Thank you.